Hey guys, so welcome back to digit.in, our YouTube channel, or maybe you're watching this on Facebook. So today we're going to be reviewing the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. This is the newest flagship from Samsung, and it's a special phone because even Samsung's mobile division president DJ Ko was in India to launch it, and it came into the market shelves in India on the same day as it hit the international one. So without getting into too many details, let's just quickly start this review. So we're going to first talk about the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. I was very excited about the Note 9 after having used the Note 8 for so long, and then when it was finally announced, my first impressions of that phone was, as if somebody took an S9, put it above a drawer above the Note 8 in a drawer, and then the two of them kind of, you know what I mean? And we got the Note 9. Literally. So this is exactly the same hardware as the S9 Plus. You get the same Exynos 9810 chipset, 6GB of RAM, 128GB of onboard storage on this one, of course, along with the capability of adding another card, which is 512GB maximum. So that's really interesting. What is different, however, is that this now has a 4000 mAh battery. It looks like Samsung is back in the groove of believing that its batteries will be safe, and what we get is finally a Note with a massive battery. I'm going to start with the 4000 mAh battery because I was actually very surprised that the Note 9 was lasting me easily a day and a half. Literally, plugging it off the charger at 8 in the morning on day 1 and then plugging it back into charge around 1:32 in the afternoon the next day. And this is consistently over a 2-week period of having used this phone as my daily driver. So in terms of battery life, of course, that's very impressive, and that's one of the few things that is absolutely new about the Note 9, the battery life. Second thing that's very new is the stylus. So the stylus now doubles up as a clicker. What Samsung has done is put a low power Bluetooth module into this, and with that you can take selfies, you can take photos, you can move presentations if you need. So there's all of that. And when the battery runs out, the S Pen now has a battery which lasts 30 minutes of full charge. Once that battery runs out, you can still use the S Pen for everything else, that is, writing, annotation, whatever you may want to do, whatever you've gotten so used to doing on the Note 8, for example, the S Pen. So that way, that's new with the S Pen. That now works as a Bluetooth remote, so you can take selfies, or you can even prop this on a tripod and stand afar and then take photos if you want. So I've actually been having a lot of fun in office where I just put the phone propped against something and I randomly take photos of people passing by. It's amazing. But other than that, what the Note 9 offers is so consistent, and it is so very familiar with not just the Note 8 but also the S9 Plus. You get a dual camera setup which is improved and is essentially the same one in the S9 Plus. It's 12 plus 12 megapixels with a 26mm wide angle lens and a 52mm telephoto lens. The wide angle lens has dual aperture of f1.5 to 2.4, which in my opinion is of practically no use. And then there is the telephoto, which gives you a 2x optical zoom. So great for taking portraits, great for getting close to your subject, and we've got some amazing samples that have come out of this camera. This is one of the best smartphone cameras in the market right now, maybe even better than the S9 Plus. What's really different with the camera is the software side of things. Now, for the first time, Samsung has put some intelligent features in here, but they refuse to use the word AI or artificial intelligence. They call it just scene recognition modes, and they actually work very well. They recognize what you're shooting, and then they apply a color treatment to it without really going overboard. And in my opinion, this is actually worked out very well. There are no unnatural colors, there is no exaggeration of contrast, and the pictures just absolutely look phenomenal. So, and that applies to both the rear and the front camera. The front camera is an 8 megapixel unit, and it has autofocus, so that's really helpful for taking selfies. Other than that, using the Note 9 has felt like using a much larger version of the S9 Plus. You still get great performance. You still get the reliable display. It's a 3K display, and it offers HDR10 compliance which is really good. So Samsung has a certification from the UHD Premium Alliance, which basically makes this display really good for watching HDR content. And between this and the LG G7, which we reviewed earlier, G7 also supports Dolby Vision. This supports HDR10 only, and it still looks beautiful. Most of the Netflix content, Amazon Prime content looks amazing on both the phones in equal grade. But of course, the G7, because of its Dolby Vision compatibility, when you have Vision content, it'll look better. But other than that, what was also really good about the display is how bright it can be in daylight. And the really good thing is that it's not very reflective either, making it very easy to use. I've actually watched a movie in the daytime outside, and it worked out pretty well. So, you know, overall, the S9 Plus does not disappoint in any regard. It feels very familiar to the S9 Plus and the Note 8. It's the form factor of the Note 8, slightly bigger, maybe like a 1.2 millimeter here and there, much bigger battery, and it still delivers very consistent and very impressive performance, that without actually getting into any of the heating issues that we are so familiar with on phones with glass backs. Now, Samsung is using a vapor cooling chamber in here, which essentially is a copper pipe with some copper netting on the inside that has vapors. And what that does is that it allows the CPU to transmit most of its heat off, and it vents all the heat. So the phone doesn't heat up as much, and consistently during stress tests, during gaming sessions, it stayed very cool. It did not even heat up at all. But during Antutu stress test, it did get warm. So, you know, but typically we see phones getting really hot in Antutu, but not in this case. So the Note 9, in my opinion, is a very good phone. Amazing camera, amazing performance, wonderful battery life. You will not have to carry a battery pack around. The S Pen works like it's supposed to. Whether you want to use it as a Bluetooth clicker or not is completely up to you. It still comes with a headphone jack, so that's amazing. It supports fast charging through wireless and through the bundle charger. And the display is something that you're absolutely going to love watching whatever it is you're watching on. So, you know, all in all, the Note 9 is a wholesome package, but it does make you wonder just how different is it from the S9 Plus and the Note 8. If you were to go out and buy the Note 8 today, which is some 55,000 rupees, almost 13,000 cheaper than the Note 9, all you would lose is a bigger battery and this Bluetooth clicker. Other than that, there's practically no difference, because the Note 8 even today performs splendidly well. You can play PUBG on it without any hiccups, as you can on the Note 9. But where you may hit a problem is maybe 2 years into the future. We don't know. Maybe you'll hit a problem with the Note 9 2 years into the future. We don't know. But as of today, yes, the Note 9 is faster than the Note 8 in terms of benchmarks, but in day-to-day use, they're all the same. So is the S9 Plus. So Samsung has actually created a very interesting portfolio of flagship devices, which start today at as low as 55,000 for the Note 8 and 68,000 for the Note 9 128GB version. So yeah, overall the Note 9 is as impressive as other Samsung's flagships have always been. There's no reason to complain, and yeah, this is a pretty amazing phone. Thank you guys for watching this video. In case you liked it, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button.